Closer. As I said, good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, depending on where you're at. I'm Gerald. I'm a Star Wars fanatic, and I appreciate all of you being here. And it looks like we got about 2 or 3 people in here right now. John, Robin, Crew, Knut. Good to see you guys. Hopefully, DR will be joining in shortly. It's been a while since I've done a live stream, probably a month. Back then, it wasn't even a very good live stream. It's kind of horrible. Not because of you guys, but because of my content. And I am drinking my coffee, so let's see what we can get into. And first, before we get started, I just want to let y'all know I do have new glasses, so I'm still getting used to them. It's a new prescription, so I'm having a hard time viewing small print about there, right about where my computer is. But if I sit back far enough, like right here, yeah, you can hear me. Hopefully, I can see your text. So, not a lot going on in the Star Wars world right now, except for September 21st. We will be getting 3 episodes of Andor, which I am excited about. Not as excited as some of the other projects. Like, I can't wait till the Mandalorian Season 3 and Ahsoka. The Acolyte series seems to be on track and possibly pretty good. We're getting out of the Skywalker era and more into the High Republic era with that, and I'm so ready for that. I need to break from the Skywalker era for just a little bit in the Empire and all that good poop. So, sound off. Let me know if you're still here. And looks like we got about 7 people here. I'm foresighted? Oh, yeah. I'm far and near. So, yeah, I can't see distance or up close. And these glasses don't have a mid-range to them because I wasn't able to get the progressive lenses. As you can see, I got my old people bifocals on, if you can see the details in that. Yeah, it is bifocals, John. And I need to go back and, when I can afford it, and get some progressive lenses, because my old progressive lenses were great. I could see my computer, and I just couldn't see distance and up close very well with them because that prescription had ran out. But yeah, let me get comfortable here. And I'm sorry for this squeaky chair. It's really, listen to that. I'm going to look into a cloth one here soon because this leather is just crazy. Yeah, hey Blaze Cap, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done a live stream. Probably a month, maybe more. Yeah, so as y'all can see, I am joined by Kevin back there. Let me get out of the way of Kevin. You see Kevin? That's my Mandalorian armor I've been working on. I'm pretty pleased with that. I was going to have a guest on here today, but unfortunately he is stuck at work, so I was not able to have that guest. But next Saturday, I will be having that guest on here, so long as his work does not stop him. Geezer, good to see you, buddy. Beer Brand Beer. That's right, Beer Brand Beer. I was hoping to have that commercial or advertisement ready for this live stream, but I wasn't able to get it properly composed and switched over and everything at the time. But yeah, if you guys didn't see it, I did a little advertisement for a little fake advertisement called Beer Brand Beer at the time. It was I thought it was funny. It was like 2 a.m. and I was just goofing around. I was like, hey, you know how YouTube channels put those advertisements at the beginning? They say, no, word from our sponsor. I was like, let me do one of those and just see how goofy I can make this thing. So yeah, if you don't know what it is, Beer Brand Beer. It won't get you drunk any more than tap water. If you slowed down the disclaimer at the end of that advertisement, it's kind of hilarious because I said a lot of weird stuff in there. We love Beer Brand Beer. What got me on that idea for Beer Brand Beer was I was watching Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and one of the pictures in the advertisement is them holding a can of beer that just says beer, and my wife and I were watching it, and I was like, look at that. They just have beer. It's not like Budweiser or Warsteiner or anything like that. It's beer. So I was like, oh, let's make a commercial about Beer Brand Beer. Yeah, so it was fun. I might do more of that stuff later, but it seems I lost a lot of subscribers off of that one because they were so confused as to what was going on. Hey, Michael Kane, good to see you. I'm looking forward to Andor as well. It was originally going to drop on my birthday on August 31st. Um, and I was excited about that. I was like, ooh, a Star Wars present for my birthday. Yay, let's do this. And no, it didn't happen. They postponed it 3 weeks. Well, that is what it is. Hey, Sydney, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, so Andor looks very promising. The trailers coming out have been so awesome. I don't know how else to explain it. They're getting away from the volume, not completely, I would assume, but most of it's going to be principal or practical effects, such as on location. And that's a welcome change back to the original of what Star Wars was. And not that I don't like the volume, I do. It just lacks a little something. Little realism. Not as much lacking as full CGI like Attack of the Clones, but just lacking something like, I don't know, some kind of texture or something on the ground. I don't know. Thanks, Knut. I appreciate that. Yeah, I love this hat. It took me 3 years to find a cowboy hat that I enjoy. I did find one in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, but it was way expensive. But when I was in little Nashville, Indiana, I saw this one, and it's exactly the one that they had in Tennessee. I think I got a little schmutz here. There we go. That's better. I saw this exact one in Nashville, Tennessee or Nashville, Indiana, for a third the price of what they wanted for in Gatlinburg. So I thought, yeah, let's get it. And my wife's like, get it, get it, get it. So I tried it on. I was like, fits good enough. It could be a little bigger, but I like it. This hat and I have been on a couple adventures already with the wife. Back in the 70s and 80s, the bottles and cans look just like Bush. Yeah, that's back before they could put product placement in movies without a license. Well, I think they still can't do it without a license. Hey, cool to know. Thank you. I appreciate that. This is the way. I really do appreciate that. And guys, yes, super chats are always welcome. Trying to build this channel up. Originally, when I started, it was just a hobby and everything, but I'm putting so much time into it right now. I get up between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. to work on videos. Sometimes they're just reposts of other videos that I've already done with some updated graphics, updated sound, and a little extra added in. But to get the real good videos out, it's taking me about a week to develop those. And I'm just trying to get you guys something in there that you can watch in the meantime and update those a little bit. We have a lot of new people here, and those new people would appreciate seeing some of the old stuff without having to root through almost 500 videos to get to them. And I like to do a little bit of service there for you. I am working on new stuff. As we speak. Someone gave me an awesome suggestion about doing a video as to the differences of Luke Skywalker and Anakin Skywalker, and to which I'm finding that their only real difference is Anakin gave into the dark side and Luke did not. I'll be curious which appliance of Star Wars tech we might get to see in Andor. If not those, maybe we'll get more new civilian tech. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see what all comes out of it. And one thing that really got me going in the Andor trailer was the clones in one of the scenes. It looks like Andor's a young kid, and the clones are coming in to establish their rule at the time of the Empire first taking over. At least that's my take on it. So I was like, okay, we're crossing over and bridging the gap between two eras of Star Wars films, and I love it. I love when they do that. I like when they bring them both together. Old videos, EBN got demonetized a couple of weeks ago for cutting up their old videos to make shorts. Really? That's weird. Yeah, I'll definitely be careful of that. Thank you for letting me know, John. Who's EBN, by the way? Anyways, so I joined a YouTube Discord for YouTube content creators, and that's going pretty good. There's a lot of chat going on in there, and I can't keep up with all of it. But it looks like there's some really good creators out there, small channels, and I really dig it. I like supporting the small channels. Um, it's really good stuff. I mean, it seems like smaller channels have to try harder to get out there, and we do. We have to try really hard to get our voices out there, get our faces out there, get our product out there, so to speak. But like I was saying, I did start this channel off as a hobby where I was just doing it once in a while. And now I love it so much, I'm doing it all the time. Every morning between 2 and 3 a.m., I'm getting up. Even on weekends, I don't sleep in. I get up before the wife does, and then I'll go back in for a little bit of us time. No, I didn't mean anything sexual by that. It's just our weekends are for us, and we do house chores and yard work and building stuff. And that's when I work on my Mandalorian armor. As you can see, good old Kevin back there. He's just propped up. Right now, he is not in the best of shapes. That is Kevin 2.5, and he is falling over, and the PVC I used was too thin, and tried to make a bent knee to give him more of an action pose, but that didn't work out. So instead, I am just going to save up my credits and go on Amazon and purchase a mannequin, one that I know will stand up. Yeah, explains why there's such a high military presence in that for sure, Robin. I heard some theorize that Andor was part of the separatist planets. I heard that too, and I think I heard that on Star Wars Meg's channel. And if you guys haven't checked out Star Wars Meg, she's awesome. She does more news-based stuff, rumors, leaks, that kind of thing. But she's super positive, and I love what she does. And I try to comment on her videos as much as possible. Speaking of which, don't forget to comment on this one, like it, share it. Tell your friends about it. Tell your dog about it. Tell some passerby children, hey, check out Star Wars Fanatic. Ooh, something in my throat there. Yeah. They'll be appealing in a couple weeks. Appealing. It in a couple weeks once they've spent a month in YouTube jail. Oh, that stinks. I hate it when YouTube puts people in jail. It's almost like a botch on freedom of speech, I guess. I know there are certain rules and limitations. You can't do everything you want in YouTube. I mean, this isn't Twitter. So we do have guidelines we have to go by. And I don't mind that. It is what it is. Yeah, so it's good to be back on this live stream thing. My work schedule is so confusing. I really honestly don't know what my schedule is. I don't know if it's 7 to 3:30 or 9 to 5:30. But so I just go in at 7 and leave at 5:30 or 6. Just to make sure I cover all the bases. I mean, my boss, he's a great guy and everything, but he's very confusing when it comes to that stuff. He changed my schedule, I changed my schedule and all that. And uh, I said, what is my schedule? And in the same conversation, he told me that my schedule is 7 to 3:30. Then he said, and then he pointed me and another supervisor and he said, you guys are on 9 to 5:30. And then he told me, he goes, but you can still flex every other week when you have to take your son to school, then come in at 8 or 9 or whatever. And I'm like, okay, what's my schedule? I'm so confused. Mon Mothma. Oh yeah, it's going to be definitely about Mon Mothma. She's highlighted quite a bit in the trailers. But as you know, these trailers can be misleading too. Look at how misleading the Obi-Wan trailers were. Great series. They're toward the middle of it. I was like, okay, let's do something here. And Obi-Wan, this is getting weird, and it's not really becoming about him anymore. And it's titled Obi-Wan Kenobi, but it's not. So then in the last episode, they killed it. It brought the whole series together for me, and I thought, okay, this is awesome. I could watch this several times. I did like the Book of Boba Fett. I liked it. It was entertaining. In one of my videos, I did say that we don't need a season 2, and I'm absolutely correct. We do not need a season 2 of the Book of Boba Fett. For one, he's joining the Mandalorian in his series, so his arc could play out in that, and possibly even take over, like I've always been saying, because one reason we look at it is who's going to have longer longevity in this series? Is it going to be Pedro Pascal or is it going to be Tamira Morrison? Which one's more dedicated, do you think? That's a question for you guys. Um, hey, Imperial Tech and Perth, Australia. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's really late there, isn't it? Or really, really, really early. I do like my boss. He's a good guy. When I first started there, I mean, there was a lot of um, I don't know how to say it, a lot of growing pain on my part, where everything was different than anything I'm used to in any other kind of boss. Um, but I was getting frustrated, and that's partially my own fault. And now I'm growing into it, and I'm learning to live with it and be okay with it, and everything's smoothing out. I do have a warehouse. It's not strictly a warehouse. It's a production. I'm a production supervisor. Um, Steel toe boots I would recommend. I would not recommend Red Wing. Not if you have to walk a lot. Red Wing are very heavy and they can weigh you down, and by the end of the day, you just feel drained. Right now, I have composite toes in a pair of Timberlands. Timberlands. They're good, but their insoles are crap. So if you get Timberlands, and they're not that expensive really, buy some cushiony insoles because your back's going to thank you for it. Around dinner time, yeah, yeah, Biggs, you're in Germany. Wow, it's Saturday night there. Wow, that's incredible. It's neat to see that Einstein's general theory of relativity is correct. That time is relative. Um, it's relative to your own perspective and your own point of view. I know it is. It's a lot deeper than that. When Einstein went into it, it's more about speed, ratio, gravity, all that stuff. But I mean, even just sitting here on the planet and talking with people in Australia and Germany and the UK, it's time's relative. Here it's 11:47 a.m. on Saturday, and it's it's still early in my weekend, so I'm liking it. And so when I'm done with this, that means I have the whole day to go out and work on my fire pit, which I've been tasked to do since my wife is throwing me a 50th birthday party. That's right, turning 50 on the 31st. I'm really not excited about it. I'm excited for what my wife's doing for the birthday party, and I'm glad for it. I'm so appreciative of everything she does. Um, but I mean, turning 50, I'm not really excited for. It's another day to me. Um, but yeah, she's putting this whole thing together, and a lot of my friends, a lot of her friends are going to show up, and a lot of family, and the kids will all be there, mostly, I think, and that'll be fun. So I get to put together the fire pit and finish it up. I have some benches I've made that I need to finish up on and probably lacquer. Um, yeah, it's going to be neat. Ooh, crew, you just brought up my favorite Imperial. Thank you. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. And yeah, we know Thrawn working his way up the ranks in Andor time. But do you think we can get a little glimpse of him or the Chimera? I still don't know if I pronounced that word right. Or Paleant or something. I hope so. I hope we get Thrawn in Andor. It'd be a shame to just use him in Ahsoka because we know he's going to be in Ahsoka. That's not a big spoiler or anything. Everybody knows he's going to be in Ahsoka. Um, Thrawn needs to be in the Andor series, at least somewhat, because at this time the Death Star is being built, and at this time they are the one Moff or Grand Admiral is siphoning supplies away from the Death Star to line his own pockets, and Thrawn's involved in that. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We need to see Thrawn, definitely for sure. Need to see Thrawn. Turned 50 last year. Well, happy birthday, Billy Bob. I guess I'll start getting my AARP stuff in the mail here soon. Darth Scorpio. Oh, dude, I'm grumpy. I'm really grumpy. You should see me at work. I'm just like, nah. People come up to me. I have a problem with this, and I just say, I don't care. And it's not that I don't care. It's just that I'm grumpy and I act like I don't care. I do care. I care about my employees. I just grumpy. Make jokes a lot, that kind of thing. Yeah, I'd love to see Benedict Cumberbatch as Thrawn. There was another one I was thinking of. I can't remember who it was, that I thought would make an amazing Thrawn. But Benedict Cumberbatch has said he doesn't want any part of Star Wars at one time or another. I know Harrison Ford said the same thing. And they keep bringing him back because they pay him to. Um, Hey, Robin, don't worry about it, man. You're only as old as you feel, and I do not feel 50. I feel more like 16, and I probably act like 13. My kids think it's hilarious, and sometimes they think it's annoying. But I do show my age once in a while when I tell my dad jokes, and they love that. But yeah, back to Boba Fett. I think Boba Fett's going to carry on in The Mandalorian. I don't think we need a season two of the book of Boba Fett because unless they change it, because there was something missing in the book of Boba Fett, and I won't deny that. I do love the show. I think it's great, and I think it's great entertainment, and that's what I look at it as. But I also think that they were missing a key element of Boba Fett, and that's his ambiguity. In The Empire Strikes Back, we thought of him as evil. He was an antagonist. He was a bad guy. He wasn't helping the rebels and the heroes. He was against them, and ultimately wound up freezing Solo and taking him back to Jabba the Hutt. It's a pretty dastardly deed, but and the comic books that are around that same era, the same thing. He's kind of a bad guy, but at the same time, in The Mandalorian, he showed a little bit of ambiguity. Is he good? Is he bad? He's helping get Grogu back, but it's for a personal gain because he got his armor back, and he's sticking to this code where he made a deal that he'd get his armor back if he helped Grogu. So, or helped Din Djarin get Grogu. So, what happens after that is he goes into Jabba's palace and kills everybody in there and shoots Bib Fortuna. Bam! Badass move. That's straight up mafia stuff there. That's stuff we see in The Godfather and Goodfellas and all that. But I think season two, if they made a Book of Boba Fett season two, he needs to have that ambiguity back. He needs to leave Tatooine, forget about this daimyo stuff, because obviously he's not cut out for it, because he wasn't a cutthroat, and that kind of disappointed me a little bit. He was more of a friendly guy. It was like Mr. Rogers takes on the crime bosses. And as much as I like Mr. Rogers and I like crime bosses in movies, I don't want to intermingle the two. They don't go well together. Boba Fett needs to go back to being this ambiguous hero, whether he's good or bad. He's there to do a job. And that's how he feels about it. And he is there for personal gain. Or he wouldn't be a lone bounty hunter. It's all about his personal gain. Yeah, he was portrayed as a man of the people, and that's cool and everything. And I get it. I get what leads up to that. I get that he wants a tribe, he wants a family, that his Tusken tribe was killed off and everything. But to me, that the Pikes are controlling this biker gang that supposedly killed them. So why didn't he just kill the Pikes right there when he was in the meeting with them, instead of them saying, we're not going to go along with you? And he's like, okay, I'll walk on out and you don't have to worry about it, and we'll just leave you alone. You leave us alone. He trusts way too many people in that. And then the real Boba Fett didn't trust anybody. He learned from his father that you can't really trust anybody because his father's own people turned on him and killed off his own people. So, yeah, I mean, why was he trusting people? I would have had Chrysanthemum go up behind one of the crime family heads and lop off their head, or, pick them up and chuck them down into the Sarlacc pit, or the Rancor pit. But there were some badass moments in the Book of Boba Fett. Him riding a Rancor. I mean, come on. That was just awesome. I mean, we knew when Danny Trejo came in with the Rancor that he was going to be like, all right, I'm going to ride Fluffy here. Yeah, that's what I call it Fluffy. Yeah, missed opportunity with the scooter leader. Definitely. And people can. I have my own qualms about the scooter gang. The final battle, a lot of people complain about the guy doing the little spinny thing and then shooting when he really didn't have to. And that's true. He didn't really have to. But then again, let's watch A New Hope. Let's watch Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Vader. Let's see how that one goes. Obi-Wan Kenobi does this old man slow spin thing. Didn't really have to. There was nothing there saying, hey, you need to do this weird spin move. He just did it. I guess the sparring instructor told him, do this cool spin thing. It'll look neat. You're old. You can do it really slow. Yeah, he did try to solve it rather bloodless, and that was horrible. Could have killed the Trandoshan, tossed him down into the Rancor, and said, here you go, Fluffy. Here's your next meal. But he didn't, and I wish he had. Right, exactly. And it's weird because Robert Rodriguez directed that episode of The Mandalorian, and then he changed it to that. And now I'm like, okay, Robert Rodriguez had his chance in the Book of Boba Fett. He had his chance. He did a decent enough job that we can watch it again and again and again and still be entertained, but we're going to look at it like that's not Boba Fett. But now let's give somebody like Rick Famuyiwa or Bryce Dallas Howard the chance to spearhead the show. Yeah, if you paid him enough. um, yeah, but let's get back to Andor. Andor, I am excited for. At first, I wasn't really excited for it. I'm still not 100% on board with it because to me, it's like Solo. I liked Solo. I thought it was a great movie. Um, it was fun. It was a fun ride and entertainment, but we knew everything that was going to happen. We knew he was going to get the Millennium Falcon. We knew he was going to meet Chewbacca. We knew he and Lando were going to have this little falling out, and he was going to get the Millennium Falcon from him. And we knew that he was going to become a scoundrel. We knew all that. It was predictable. But all of Star Wars is predictable. But Andor, we know what his fate's going to be. Where's this going to go? It can only end one way, and that's him getting zapped by the Death Star on Scarif. Oh, I see Bobby in here. What up, man? How you doing? Too bad Bob Anderson wasn't the sword fight advisor. I'm still trying to get used to these new glasses. Sorry, guys. Wasn't the sword fight advisor for A New Hope. I'm pretty sure the Obi-Wan and Vader duel would have not looked like two old guys. Oh, I know. You go back when they made the prequels. They had these amazing lightsaber duels. The Duel of the Fates, the end of Revenge of the Sith, the fight in Attack of the Clones with Count Dooku and Yoda and Obi-Wan and Anakin. Amazing stuff. All these acrobatics and all this great sword fighting, choreographed dance fighting for sure, but it showed so much more forceability. But then go back to A New Hope and watch that, and you see, oh, old people, neat. I feel like I'm in the villages of Florida watching people, slap each other with sticks. Thanks, Bobby. I appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, I like this hat. It does me justice, or I do it justice. I don't know. I'm ugly. The hat's cute. Let's just put it that way. Um, Somebody at work asked me one day because I was messing with her. One of my employees, she was, she's got this real big head, like not physically a huge head, but she's got a swollen complex, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, you're attractive, you're attractive." And I looked at her, I went, "Meh." Oh, I ain't hating on Florida. I love Florida. It's the villages I don't like. Well, okay, I'll take that back. The villages are as entertaining as, let's say, the Expendables to me. Not the same kind of action or anything, but there's action there, and it's kind of crazy. Florida Man channel. I have to check that out. Where was I? I got sidetracked by Bobby. Thanks, Bobby. Good job. I had this whole ADD thing going on, and squirrel. But yeah. So yeah, I don't know how long I plan on doing the live stream for today. Uh, About an original trilogy remake. No, thank you. There are certain movies that you don't remake. And those are the classic movies. And A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Let's not remake those. Wow, Patrick, that's very kind of you. Thank you, sir. But anyways, let's take some movies that shouldn't be remade. Casablanca. Never remake that movie. It's a classic the way it was. Breakfast at Tiffany's needs to stay the same. Wizard of Oz. Don't change it. Don't remake it. Don't get new actors. Perfect. Are these movies perfect? No, not by any means, but they're a classic. And if you remake them, then you get the whole Tim Burton Planet of the Apes remake, and it just sucks. Um, let's see, what else? Gone with the Wind. You don't remake that. I didn't think they'd ever remake True Grit, but they actually did a good job with that. So uh, kudos to them. Um, yeah, so it's crazy. You don't remake the classics, and Star Wars is one of those classics. You don't remake it. Is it perfect? No, not by any means. Star Wars is not perfect. Hey, Edits, and everybody, if you don't know, Edits is my son. He is getting ready to turn 16 in a couple months, so I'm pretty proud of that. I have to figure out a way to come together with his mother to get a car. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. Anyway, so you don't remake Star Wars. That would really, really, really disappoint me, and I think they would ruin it if they remade it. Honestly, um, not that they don't know what they're doing or anything, but they would change a lot of stuff. And I don't want to see that. Peter Jackson remaking Lord of the Rings, that was different. The original Lord of the Rings was an animated. The original was just novels by J.R.R. Tolkien. But when Peter Jackson remade it, he stuck to the novels pretty closely. That's why we have 4-hour extended cuts of the movies. Scene 38 remake is good. I don't know what scene 38 is. I'm not that detailed in the movies. I don't go through the DVDs and Blu-rays and figure out what scene is. I would assume scene 38 would be the Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Vader fight. I think that would be better. And the Death Star trench run could be a little bit better, but I don't say remake it. I say do a George Lucas type edit to some of these things. Um, Only not George Lucas edit because Han Solo shot first. Sorry, he was the only one to shoot. George, I don't agree with you on that. You ruined his character. Bringing Quinlan Voss after bringing him up in Kenobi. I hope so. I really want to see Quinlan Voss. He's got this wild side to him, and he's just this awesome guy. He's just kind of like a loner Jedi that they just tolerate. But he gets the job done, except for in Dark Disciple. He didn't really get the job done there. He kind of fell a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I've seen the remake of the Obi-Wan Vader fight, and it is amazing. It's so much better than the original. Now, don't get me wrong. When the original came out and we saw that lightsaber duel, we thought, cool, this is so neat. Look at these laser swords they're holding, And, man, don't judge me for calling them laser swords. Luke called them laser swords. Other people have called them laser swords. And I just stuck with it, and I think it's funny. Anyways, so we thought it was awesome because it was new technology, and A New Hope was groundbreaking in so many ways, and they made these lightsabers glow, and they whoomp whoomp womp womp, all that stuff, and it was so neat. It was so neat to see it, and then the prequels came along and made it look stupid. Wow, Patrick, you're just so awesome, man. Thank you so much, buddy. You're so good at that. Yeah, it is amazing. All right, edits. I'll see you tomorrow, buddy. Um, I'll probably pick you up around 6, unless your sister's gonna bring you over. Um, that would be neat if she could. And honestly, guys, that's probably about his fifth shower today. He showers a lot. He's all into hygiene. Not that that's a bad thing. He's a teenage boy. He should be into hygiene. A lot of teenage boys are not into hygiene. Hence the smell that comes from their room when they're teenage boys. Yes. Anyway, so yeah. No, don't remake the Star Wars original trilogy. That just makes no sense to me. Um, Lish, let me see if I can. Let me get up close so I can read that there, Robin. Licht Schwerter, which means light swords. Yeah, cool. I didn't know that. It's your first shower. All right. Well, you must have just woke up. um, yeah. So I did bring a little bit of show and tell for this episode of our live stream. And this is something this is the hardest part of making the armor. I don't care what anybody else says. This part to me has been trickier and more difficult than any other. And that is the jetpack. And not just the jetpack. The jetpack itself was fairly easy to get the print lines out of by... Let me see if I can move this to where y'all can see it a little better. Get the print lines out of. I'm not finished with it yet. I still have to paint the other booster. But getting the print lines out of it was fairly easy. I used resin, smoothed it out, sanded it and stuff. I still have some print lines up in here that I need to take care of, and some down in the boosters here that I need to take care of, and I'll do that. But the tricky part of this is connecting it to this piece. You can see I got the straps there. Let me pull it back in frame. I got the straps dangling out of the opening, and that's going to be to secure it on so that the inside has magnets. The back of the jetpack has magnets. Secures right to it. However, I'm holding it by the jetpack and not the back. I tilt it a little bit. Okay, it's going to make me a liar. And it starts coming apart. So I don't want to lose my jetpack in the middle of trooping around, you know. I want it to just stay on there. So I put the straps on it, and inside are shoulder straps. Those will go around my shoulders and through the flak vest. I've designed that whole thing. It's kind of rudimentary, but it's going to work. Wow. Patrick, you must have got a bonus or something. That's awesome. Keep it up. I like it. How many credits do I want for that? Well, I mean, I'm nowhere near done with it. Eventually, this is a long-term goal. I'm going to be replacing the beacon with something electronic that lights up. I'm going to be replacing the boosters with something that lights up and smokes. That's long-term, though. So it's going to be a while. But yeah, I'm having a blast building this armor. And this is the last piece I have to finish before the basic parts of the armor is done. I still have to get the chest electronic and all that, but I'm not in a hurry for that. I want to find the right one because I don't want it to be just the standard red that Boba Fett had. I want it to be maybe yellow or white. I want the display to be yellow or white. Another piece I did. Stand up there. Don't act stupid. Just stand up there. Another piece I did, and some of you who are World War II enthusiasts may know about, is I did this. Yes, I took an original World War II K98 pouch and painted it. Yep, it's authentic. It's a real K98 pouch, and I just painted it yellow. Why? Because I wanted to. These things are a dime a dozen, and you can get an original for about $15, $20. And I just decided I wanted to paint it, put it on my uniform, because Star Wars has a long history of using World War II Militaria. I mean, Han Solo's DL-44 was a broom-handled Mauser with a scope on it. E11s are what, Bren guns or Sten guns, something like that. The long heavy machine guns are MG34s. There's a long history of using German and Russian militaria in Star Wars. And I like it. And a lot of people are having a fit about the Andor thing with the AK-47 in it without the clip. A lot of people are like, oh, that's real world. You can't use that. Well, I mean, the Sand Troopers had MP40 pouches on their chest. Um, yeah, on it's an MP40 pouch on their chest. They have real world stuff in Star Wars all the time. They have since the beginning. I'm gonna fix my little lumbar support here. I don't want my back starting to hurt. Oh. Sabers are curved swords, so light sword is technically correct. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. I wonder if you could consider the dark saber an actual saber. I mean, it does have. Um, it doesn't really have a curve, but it's more of a katana shape. The blade is, and the um, dark saber also has two sharp edges, one on the front and then one on the top of the back. So technically, kind of like a knife. So I guess you'd call it a long knife. I don't know. It's just me. Anyways, yeah. I mean, there's no real founded. I mean, a lot of people just hate just to hate, and I get that. It's all over the place. It's not just in Star Wars. It's in a lot of things. Um, it's in the Lord of the Rings stuff. I'm sure it's going to be in House of Dragons. There's going to be a lot of hate there. It's just going to be one of those things. I mean, since the internet's become this big thing, everybody has a voice now. And my wife and I were talking yesterday, and we were talking about this young boy that was killed over last weekend or over the week during the week. He fell out of a car at 17 years old and died. Um, well, the whole community has put together funds for this kid. Like everybody in the community donated money to the family, and they rounded up about it $28,000. Incredible! That's amazing stuff to help with this kid's expenses, and the family's expenses of what they're going to have to go through. It's a sad, sad event, but people turned it into something to come together with. And my wife and I were talking about that, and I said, see, there are good in people. It's just so sad that in our society now, the bad people are in the front screaming so you can't see or hear the good people in the back. And there's a lot more good people than there are bad. And I'll stick with that. Oh, no, I don't think the AKs are going to be slug throwers by any means. I'm sure they'll be blasters. But you got to think it's a fledgling rebellion. They're probably just getting their hands on whatever they can at this point, and may have to go with some kind of slug thrower. Sorry. Yeah, female razor for a communication device. Yeah, and then what was it? Luke's original lightsaber was made from camera parts or something like that. Um, yeah. What up, Dr? Good to see you, buddy. Why are you sorry? Because you're coming in near the tail end of it. Um, but yeah, I'm getting more and more excited for the Andor series, more and more so than I originally was, because Solo was a movie nobody asked for, but it wound up being decent. It didn't do well at the box office per Star Wars standards, but it was still a decent movie. It was a fun ride. And I think Andor is going to be a lot of that, but I think a little more so. I think there's going to be something in it. Thanks, Dr. I think there's going to be something more in it than what we're being shown. I think we're going to see a. This could probably spawn some spin-off series. Let's say Thrawn is in it. It could spawn a Thrawn spin-off. Um, a Mon Mothma or Republic or sorry, Imperial Senate spinoff, something like that. It could do something. Yeah, Solo is overhated. I mean, it's not the best Star Wars film that was ever created, but it's not the worst either. Um, Sorry, prequel lovers, but Attack of the Clones is probably my least favorite, and that doesn't mean I don't like it. It just means it's my least favorite. Been a while since I've done these live streams, Dr. And I'm going to get back to them. I do want to do them probably every week or every other week now. I don't want to wait a month before another one. That's too long. I missed you guys. I like hanging out with you. I like having people to talk to about Star Wars. I have people at work I can talk to. Yeah, I can't put on the armor, Dr. That would take me about a half hour. That stuff's there's a lot there. And in my helmet, I did add the microphone, so I have the microphone and speaker. Um, Now, I tried to put a fan in it, but the fan I was using is a computer fan. And I don't think I have it in here. No, it's out in the garage. But you could hear the wind blowing over the microphone through the speaker, and it just didn't work out. So I guess I'm just going to have to be really, really hot in that thing for a while. Um, yeah, so I'll have a neck piece on, a balaclava, um, the helmet, and like 4 layers of clothing. About the helmet, nah, I don't want to get up. I'm lazy. I'm just sitting here. You missed me showing off the jetpack, though, Dr. You want me to pull that up for you? I got it right here handy. You can see it right there, kind of. But yeah, I'm excited for Andor. And as time goes, I'm a little more excited. The trailers look really good. The special effects look great. I just hope it's not too much of a political thing like the prequels were. I want it to not confuse people with the politics involved. I probably could put the fan there, but it wouldn't do any good to be in there because it won't cool me down. I'm looking into getting a cool suit, like a cool suit to put on underneath of everything to keep me cool. I don't care. I don't mind heat so much as long as it's not humid. So I mean, I'll be all right. It's got a vent, and the helmet's got vents in the back of it, so I should be okay. How well can I see? I have the darkest tint available for the helmet, so I can see pretty good. Um, I mean, it doesn't have the HUD like real Mandalorian armor does in the shows, like the heads-up display of all around you and surrounding and 360 view and all that. I don't have that, but I mean, I can see pretty good. I'm not going to trip over anything when I walk. Yes, definitely. Papa Palpatine needs to be in the Senate episodes. Um, yeah, I think that would be definitely a must. We need to see Palpatine, and we need to see as much of Palpatine as we can right now because Ian McDermott is not getting any younger, and we'd like to see how well how much we can get out of the Emperor in that timeline, in that period. I know they can do de-aging and all that stuff, and put other people in the outfit and CGI faces on them like they did Tarkin and Leia in Rogue One, which was cool for the time. That was cool stuff. But now you look at it and they look like zombies. Um, Great movie, not taking away from the movie at all. But Star Wars has always been on the forefront of that kind of technology. But what they did with Kurt Russell in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 just shows that they can make it better. And I know Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was made after Rogue One. So I don't know if they're going to pop Tarkin in again. Let's see a little bit better CGI on that guy. You remember that black and orange helmet made last year? Yeah, I remember that. He kept falling down the stairs. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Dr. There are some pretty cheap helmets out there that you can buy to customize yourself. Mine, I think my wife spent like $30 for it on Amazon, and I just totally redid the whole thing, so I didn't have to build an entire helmet or buy a $200 helmet. Um, Shows the forging of Palpatine. You mean like a Plagueis series? That would be kind of neat. I'm just so ready to get out of the Skywalkers for a while. I mean, I love the Imperial era. It's my favorite era. I like the First Order era as well. I know, shoot me, I'll probably lose a lot of subscribers for saying that. And I love the Clone era as well, the Republic. But I think the Imperial era is my favorite, but I want to see something else. This galaxy is old, and it's huge, it's vast. I want to see more Chiss ascendancy that doesn't lead to a Skywalker. I want to see the High Republic that doesn't lead to a Skywalker. And by doing the Acolyte, I got kind of disappointed that they're putting Plagueis in it, if they're putting Plagueis in it. That's the rumor right now. Because it's going to lead to a Skywalker. I wanted to see this be its own entity, its own thing, its own storyline that didn't hinge on a Skywalker. Yeah, yeah, that re-armored helmet's awesome. My other son got it as well, and he's repainted it. He's working on his armor as well, so we can both go to this comic book convention next month and be in full costume. Didn't have a problem with Tarkin's de-aging, but everyone else's looked fake as all get out. Yeah, I mean, Tarkin for the time, it looked great. I mean, when I saw him, I was like, oh my God, there's Tarkin. That is so cool. Yeah, so I'd like to see more of that. I'd like to see a Thrawn series that doesn't lead to a Skywalker, but we know it would. Yeah, the Old Republic books are great. And Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, love them. And I am so disappointed that they have pushed back and shelved the Knights of the Old Republic remake. That's disappointing. That is really disappointing. It seems like anytime we're going to get an open world, real RPG game in Star Wars, bleh, get rid of it. Star Wars 1313, bleh, get rid of it. Yeah, Jeff Bridges and Thrawn. That was the other one I was thinking of. Looked amazing. I couldn't believe it. It was just so real. I was like, wow, how did they do that? And I don't want to know how they did it, but I want to know how they did it. I know I sound like that guy. I don't want to say it's aliens, but it's aliens. The Papadopoulos guy or whatever his name is, Papadopoulos. The guy you see on Ancient Aliens all the time. Ming Na Wen at a fan expo recently literally confirmed that she was busy a while ago for doing reshoots for Mandalorian. Well, yeah. I mean, we know she's going to be in The Mandalorian. If Boba Fett's in it, Ming Na Wen's going to be in it. Or Fennec Shan, should I say. Let's see. No, and I don't want to see it, DR. I'm trying to stay away from leaks. I'm really trying to stay away from trailers as well, but my curious mind gets the better of me. So I'm just really trying to stay away from leaks and rumors. I listen to Star Wars Meg's stuff a lot. She does have leaks and rumors and all that, and that I take it as entertainment value for what she does. Great lady, great gal, super positive, super bubbly. I love it. I love what she does. I just take it with a grain of salt. So I don't believe leaks and rumors until I see it on screen or hear it in an audiobook or read it in a book. Speaking of which, I'm reading the second Thrawn trilogy, the Ascendancy trilogy, which would actually be the third Thrawn trilogy, I guess, if you consider the Heir to the Empire stuff. And I'm really digging it. I finished Treason a few weeks ago, and that was amazing. I mean, it just changed my whole perspective on Thrawn and Emperor Palpatine's relationship. Yeah. Yeah, so, alrighty, it's getting close to time. Robin, you haven't counted down in a while, buddy. I missed that. But like I said, I am going to do more of these live streams. I'll be more prepared with more stuff, and I mean, I do still have the other stuff that I use on here, like this one. Get on with it. Yeah, dig that. And DR, there you go, buddy.
Like a panther.
I need to move these.
Yes.
Let's move these around. Let me pull that one back up. Move.
Like a panther.
Let's move this over here.
Yes.
There we go. How's that? Does that look better? Then we got
Do it.
good old Palpatine. And then we got the one segment I like to call and that's the segment where you guys get to complain about Star Wars. Where you get to yell about what you do not like about Star Wars. I am a super positive channel. I am a super positive guy. I'm just a nice guy that way, you know. Like being positive because life is too short to be negative all the time. And I'm not here to get clicks and views off negativity. I'm here to prop up the Star Wars franchise and the people who love it. So go ahead. You got about a minute to complain about Star Wars. I will sit here and read your comments. And there's none so far. That must mean everybody loves Star Wars. I'm happy for that. I already complained my little bit about the Book of Boba Fett stuff and how Solo was predictable. And let's go back to the prequel trilogy as well. Predictable. Sorry, entertaining and fun, and it was neat seeing the stuff play out, but it was predictable. We knew Darth Vader was going to turn to the dark side. We knew Papa Palpatine was going to take over and as the head of the Empire, as the Emperor. We knew that the Jedi Order was going to fall, the Republic was going to crumble. We knew Yoda was going to go into hiding. We knew Luke and Leia were going to be born. We knew that Obi-Wan was going to be sent to Tatooine. It's the details of how it happened that we didn't know. I mean, I think back in like 1980 or 81, I knew that Anakin was burned by lava. There was an interview with George Lucas way back then. You don't like Finn, huh? Well, I mean, he's good enough for what he was for. I do have my gripes about this sequel trilogy. I just choose not to voice them because right now I'm just still trying to wait for people to calm down about it before I do, because it's still a touchy subject. I didn't talk about what I didn't like about the prequels when all the hate was going on for the prequels, because I didn't want to add fuel to that fire. I didn't want anybody to say, oh, look, Gerald hates the prequels. I didn't hate the prequels. There's just aspects of it I didn't like. Same with the sequels. There's aspects of it I don't like. There's aspects of every Star Wars that I don't like. But there are more aspects that I do like. It's just me. You guys are free to hate whatever you want, though. I don't judge anybody for disliking something. I don't judge anybody for liking something that I don't like. We're all individuals. We all have our own opinions and thoughts and feelings, and that's the way it should be. It's the way it should be forever. You know, we shouldn't judge each other for what we like and don't like. Shouldn't call each other names for it. It's stupid. This life is way too short for us to be hating on people and hating on each other. We should all be a community, tight-knit, happy, upbeat community. Enjoy our lives. And there's a lot of crap that goes on in our lives. Like, we spend at least a third of our life at work. We spend another third of our life sleeping. We only get 1/3 of our life to enjoy, and most of the time we're doing chores during that 1/3. So try to take positivity in all aspects of your life and enjoy it to its fullest. I'm not saying go out and commit debauchery all over the place or commit crimes or hurt people. I'm just saying go on an adventure. That's why my wife and I travel so much. Even if it's just somewhere a couple hours away, we'll travel to get that in, because we want to see things. We want to experience our life. It's another reason I get up at 2 to 3 a.m. and work on my channel, because I love working on this channel. I love doing what I do. I love talking about Star Wars. That to me makes life that much better. I don't consider it work, but I'm getting up at 2 to 3 a.m. to cut down on losing a third of my life to sleep. It's probably not healthy. Might end my life sooner. But you know what? I'm doing what I like. And I think everybody should do that. I think you should all do what you like and don't do what you don't like. If you don't like Star Wars, don't watch it. If you don't like Disney, don't watch Disney movies. If you don't like Lord of the Rings, don't watch it. because you're just wasting your time on negativity and things you don't like. Go do things you do like. It's just me. I could be wrong in that. But I am going to have to go ahead and cut this off. I do have some yard work to do. Like I said, I have a fire pit to build. Hopefully sometime this afternoon I will be able to get to working on my Mandalorian armor and getting it all together. And once I do that, I will be making... I'll post some pictures of it all completed, but I think I want to do a member video of my armor and how it works and all that. That's awesome, crew. I'm so glad. Wait, what? I should make speech videos. Maybe I would be a good self-help guru. Who knows? What Book of Boba Fett comment? Where is your Book of Boba Fett comment? Yeah, I saw that. It's going to be good. Well, the Kenobi leak was half right. Qui-Gon didn't show up at the Vader fight, though. Yeah, we all knew Qui-Gon was going to show up. It was inevitable. From the first episode when Obi-Wan was talking, saying, Qui-Gon, can you hear me? We knew he was going to show up. Yes, this is the way, the only way. I love that. And for those of you who are new, I don't say this is the way, the only way, because my channel's the only way. No, there are thousands of Star Wars channels out there, and a lot of them are really good. And they have the way too. What I'm saying is positivity is the only way. That's what I mean by that. So, I am going to go ahead and jump off here. I believe my wife is home. My dog will probably start barking soon. So, thank you all for joining. This is Gerald from Star Wars Fanatics signing off, wishing you all great health, happiness, and peace. Happiness. Remember that. Happiness. Thank you all for watching. And remember, this is the way. The only way.